15 chemical drones capable of covering entire fields in minutes were just stolen in New Jersey using forged corporate documents. Recovered, yes. But here's the problem: that wasn't a random theft, that was a proof of concept. And now we're going to talk about why this changes how you should think about public safety, large gatherings, and the evolving threat landscape that most people are still not taking seriously. Hello, Swivelheads. This is Greg Allison with Green Gregs. And if you've been following this channel, you already know we've been tracking bio threats, infrastructure risk, and unconventional warfare for a long time now. The latest incidents fits into a pattern, and I don't think most of you understand how big this could get. On 26 March 26, a theft from Harrison, New Jersey. CAC International social engineering attack with a forged bill of lading and fake confirmation email swiped 15 agricultural drones. 15 agricultural drones taken. Recovered in Dover, New Jersey, about 30 miles away. And this wasn't a smash and grab. This was a logistics level deception. FBI plus DHS, high priority investigation, weaponization potential, explicitly noted. This is where it gets serious. What do these drones actually do? They were built for precision agricultural dispersal, not hobby drones designed to carry large liquid payloads, dispersed evenly over large areas. A single unit can roughly cover 15 acres in about 7 to 8 minutes. Now, to translate that, a football stadium is about 1.3 acres and just a field only. Large venue complexes are still far smaller than 15 acres. There are industrial scale dispersion systems. That's what these are, not consumer toys. So let's look at why this wasn't random. Use of forged corporate documents, logistics manipulation, targeted extractions. That level of planning suggests coordination, not impulse. Experts noting the professional element. Pre-identified target assets, these specific drones, and they're worth tens of thousands each. So just consider the late 2025 New Jersey drone sightings, reports of unusual drone activity, similar reports even in Europe. Investigators are at least asking whether there's any connection. At the same time, we're seeing reports of drones operating over sensitive sites, including military installations where some systems reportedly struggled and failed to stop them. So we'll be going into more depth on this in my next video to discuss drone threats to the power grid, other critical infrastructure, and military bases. These drones are commercially available globally, not limited to one country. Could be acquired legally or illegally. So this is not about just one nation. This is about a capability that now exists worldwide. Western nations are all exposed to this right now. Urban density equals a vulnerability multiplier. Any systems designed to disperse agricultural chemicals at scale raises obvious questions about misuse of hazardous substances. One drone can cover 15 acres, like I said, in 7 to 8 minutes. Multiple drones equal a potentially larger coverage, maybe at multiple dispersed sites. When you scale across multiple units, you're no longer talking about localized incident. You're talking about an area-wide exposure risk. Be aware of evolving risk. Understand that the threat landscape is changing. Situational awareness matters more now than ever before. That's why I always say, keep your eyes wide open and a head on a swivel. That's more important now than ever. The world is changing, and so are the tools that can be misused. Friends, I talk to you a lot about product safety. I talk to you about contaminants in your products. I talk to you quite often about how there's just 12 companies that control over 550 different consumer brands, and how these companies have, once they bought out these other brands, they've substituted the formulations for things to make the products last longer on the store shelf. And to make them cheaper. We're talking about a lot of chemicals going into products that often used to not have them. And Lord knows, in the United States, our consumer safety is somewhat less than spectacular. So you can bet that a lot of these substitutes, including substitutes to make up for flavor because of the substitution of cheaper materials that just keep adding more and more chemicals, are just frankly not good for you. And I've also talked about things like how even toothpaste is loaded, over 90% of the brands is loaded with heavy metals. So it's not just chemicals, my friend. And a lot of this stuff is things that you put on your skin, like detergents, dishwashing detergents. They even have chemicals that aren't labeled in the bottles. A lot of your washing soaps, shampoos, just different products are loaded with chemicals that you and your family don't need to be exposed to. And of course, to make it even more interesting, you'll find there's controlling interest in these companies ran by none less than the big three asset management companies, which further drive that home. And, BlackRock being the chief one among them. And guess who owns BlackRock and what else he controls? But all that aside, my friends, I give you a way to get yourself out of that situation, because you can go to switchwithgreg.com, and switchwithgreg.com, you can come into a family-owned company, not part of the 12 major big corporations I just mentioned, and not a big corporation, a family-owned company where all their products are made right here in America, supporting American jobs, and they are non-toxic. They don't have all these chemicals in them. Even the cleaners are plant-based products, and they're extensively tested for consumer safety. So you can support American jobs, support your family, and all you got to do is fill out this form, hit submit, and this is my website. It goes straight to me and an assistant that I've got working who will contact you to bring you on board. And Lisa, she's a member of the community. So I highly encourage you guys to check this out, to avail yourself of safer products and support jobs in America and not the big corporate interests that are out there. The takeaway is simple. This wasn't just a theft. It was a glimpse at a capability that's now out in the open. I used to not want to talk about what this could be, but now it's been published. So, fortunately this time, recovered this time. But next time, that's the question. How many more are there out there right now? What are these so-called New Jersey drones? They just seem to pop up everywhere. In the next video, we're going to look at something just as concerning, but different. Drone activity around military bases and critical infrastructure, and what that can mean for the power grid and national defense. Because if you think it ends here, it doesn't. So make sure you subscribe, bang the bell, and click all for more news on what's coming, what to be aware of. And thank you for watching. Greg out.